Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Pacheco, and today I have Judd Singer from Via Custom Homes from the Doña Ana, Las Cruces area. Judd, do I have your permission to record this interview today?
Yeah, sure you do.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much. And I want to hear, a lot of people that are going to be watching this. They're interested in knowing about the different areas, the 33 different counties in New Mexico, thinking about maybe moving here. But I would like your perspective, because I understand you've been probably going on 30 years now. You have been a home builder in the Las Cruces, Doña Ana area. So I'd like to hear your perspective on the real estate industry as it is today.
Okay. Real estate industry in general in Las Cruces, as it is today, I would say is a pretty overheated market right now. There's a lot of people traveling from other parts of the country moving here. So we're seeing a bit of a growth spurt right now.
And do you know the reason for that? Do you think it's the pandemic?
Of course, I have my suspicions. It's part of it is the pandemic. Part of it is that people are realizing today that they can work from home and be just as productive and be successful in business working from home, which now means that they are not tied to having to live in one of the bigger cities around the country to be financially successful. And I think they feel like they can come to a small town like Las Cruces and be successful and live a little more comfortable lifestyle, I would say.
And and Las Cruces is not really such a small town. It's the second largest city in the state. So I mean, it's small for in comparison to LA, New York, or Chicago.
I grew up in New York, so
yeah, it's small in that sense. But it's really it's the second largest city in the state.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going for it. I know from a referral that you do work. I guess do you work a lot in building Adobe homes, or what type of construction do you concentrate on?
Okay, so I have a business called Via Custom Homes. It's been around for just about 27 years now. And I build homes, of course, like everybody else does, conventionally out of wood, stick framed homes. But I also have a specialty or a technique. I build rammed earth homes. We could do Adobe homes as well, but we prefer to do rammed earth over Adobe.
And what does rammed earth mean?
Well, rammed earth is quite simply earth placed into forms and then rammed or compressed so that it is a solid monolithic wall section when we create the walls of the house. And we go around the entire perimeter of the house, moving our forms and ramming earth and creating earthen walls that are 21 inches thick.
So it's kind of an Adobe structure, but just a different version of it.
Very much like Adobe. Adobe is a form of earth building. Okay, rammed earth is a form of earth building. Adobes are an uncompressed sun-baked brick. Generally today they are stabilized.
What does stabilized mean?
Stabilized means they have an additive in them to prevent them from cracking and from kind of coming apart, melting, if you will.
What type of additive would be added to an Adobe now?
Well, some people use cement, some people use asphalt. There's various additives that they would put into the Adobe to make it sturdy. Today, Adobe homes, like rammed earth homes, are all inspected generally by the state or the county. In Las Cruces, our county government has people trained to be able to inspect the rammed earth. So we do it locally, but generally around the state, it's state inspectors that do the rammed earth and Adobe homes. So we're similar construction style and technique. The main difference is that an Adobe is not a compressed brick. So historically, when we built Adobe homes around New Mexico, the West, they had 8-foot high ceilings, max. So the bottom bricks didn't blow out. But today we like to build homes with 10-foot ceilings, 12-foot ceilings, 14-foot ceilings. So what happens is the Adobe brick at the bottom start to blow out just from the weight of the Adobe compressing that bottom brick. Hence the reason we go with rammed earth. It's compressed right from the start.
And how do you compress the earth? I mean, what is added to it? I mean, how do you
rams?
I'm
We use
sorry?
pneumatic rams. They're a specialty tool that we have. They are tampers, if you will, and they're pneumatic. We run them on a diesel compressor at 3,500 pounds of per square inch of pressure, and we ram the earth. It's a ram, and it
Wow.
hits the earth, compresses it. We generally put the earth into the form in a 12-inch lift or 12 inches of dirt at a time. And then we compress that down to roughly 3.5 to 4 inches.
And I know here in Santa Fe, building with Adobe now is become extremely expensive. Would the rammed earth concept be less expensive or more expensive than traditional Adobe building?
Well, we find it a little bit faster to build because we're able to use pneumatic tools, modern tools, if you will. And so we think that the rammed earth is faster and therefore cheaper.
Okay, and do you see a big demand for that, or are you perfect, or are you seeing people coming in and just wanting a
So the
frame
people,
house?
some people refer to rammed earth homes as their forever home. Rammed earth structures have been around for 5,000 years, still around. So people see a rammed earth structure as very permanent. They would refer to them as their forever home. As I would, of course, remind them, any house I build out of wood for you is going to last for your lifetime and more. But rammed earth is, of course, a very permanent, very sturdy, very sound resistant. It's naturally fire resistant. It's naturally insect resistant. It's green. It's as green as you can get. There's plenty more earth on the earth. So it's a renewable resource.
Let me ask you, because I know up here in Santa Fe in northern New Mexico, people that have Adobe homes, they have issues with their internet. It's just really hard for it to penetrate the earth walls. Can you elaborate, or do you know why that is so?
Well, it's true. Adobe homes, earth homes, an earthen wall, when I build an earthen wall, it's 21 inches thick. Your wood framed walls, 6.5 inches thick. So there's quite a bit of difference just there. Now, generally speaking, today, it should not be a problem. I just finished an earth house for a guy that works for the federal government. He is a cybersecurity guy, so that's what they do. The internet's very important to them. And he was very concerned about it. We, in fact, ran conduit through the walls of his house so that he could pull Cat 7 or Cat 9 or whatever the future wire is going to be. But what he discovered is that if you got a strong enough internet router modem, he was able to punch through. And in fact, he could walk around his house on the outside and use his phone, and everything works just fine.
So that's probably has something to do with, newer homes, but I guess for a
It
lot
has
of
something to do with the technology that they're using on some of those homes. They may need to just update their technology because things have changed and they have more power in these routers and these hubs today, and so they can punch through the Adobe walls.
so even an older home, if somebody knows what they're doing, or they can hire a specialist, somebody
Now,
that,
some of the Adobe homes that you have up in Santa Fe, some of the older ones, have interior Adobe walls as well. We would generally do wood frame interior walls today, less expensive, faster.
so you would do
Places
rammed
Southwest
earth
Redmond.
on the outside, but then it's a wood frame inside?
That's correct.
Ah, okay.
That's correct. Yeah, your interior walls separating rooms would typically be wood framed inside of a rammed earth home. We're really creating an envelope, an energy efficient envelope with the rammed earth.
And do you work at all with solar heating, or you mentioned a little bit about as green as it can get? Tell me a little bit about green building. I know here in Santa Fe, I've spoken to some realtors, and they have to, the newer homes have to pass all types of green inspection laws.
Right. So we have the same kind of thing here in southern New Mexico because it's the state of New Mexico. The state of New Mexico supports a program that they have various ratings of energy efficiency: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, etc. This is their measurement system. And so people are testing their homes. They're getting a HERS a home energy rater to come in and test the home and certify the home's green built status as well as its energy efficiency, which allows them to get rebates back from the government, feds, and the state for building a green home, a renewable resourced home. So round earth, of course, qualifies for the exterior walls. We're building it out of earth, obviously a renewable surface, a renewable product. We do solar, of course, so we create energy efficient homes. We do solar panels on the homes. We do higher energy therm windows with more reflective heat and solar coefficient, just to create a more energy efficient home. We do blower door testing and duct testing to ensure that we can pass the strict requirements to achieve the highest ratings in the Green Build program from New Mexico.
Well, you sound like a real expert. Are there a lot of builders in New Mexico with your qualifications?
You know, I can't speak for all the other builders in New Mexico. I've been a builder in New Mexico for a lot of years. I have met a tremendous number of really excellent builders over my time in the industry. I've met my share of not so great builders as well. So, you know, the thing of it is that I was always younger than they were. And so now I'm at my age, I don't know who's still out there building.
And do you build just, houses per request, or do you do subdivisions, or what have you done in the past?
Well, I have done subdivisions. I've done some land and real estate development. And generally, when I would build a development, I would sell lots to you or other builders that wanted to buy lots. I sold to the general public, essentially. I, of course, build homes pre-sold. That's mostly what I do. People will come to me either with their plans or they'll come to me with their ideas, and then we'll design a house together, and then I'll price that house out, and then we'll build that house for them. I build speculation like other builders do every now and again. If I slow down, if my business starts to get slow with pre-sold business, I will generally add a spec in, a house built on speculation. Speculating that there will be a buyer for the home when it's finished. But honestly, as busy as it is, and quite frankly, I could build specs right now and sell them as soon as they're finished. It's been busy for the pre-sale business, and I try to help people out. I have more fun doing that.
And what is the time frame from the day somebody contacts you, you sign a contract that you're going to be their builder? What would be the turnaround time? 2 years, a year?
It's kind of a trick question, but I'll give you some idea. Right now, today, presently,
Okay.
if we were talking, you and I, it was the first time we were speaking, and you said I wanted a house, and let's say it was an average size home, 2,000 to 2,500 square feet, something like that, of heated square footage. I would tell you probably 8 months from today, you're in the home.
Wow.
Okay? Take us roughly 30 to 45 days to develop a set of plans, another 30 to 45 days to price it, get it permitted, and get it started, and then roughly 6 months to build it.
That's not bad. I thought it was like maybe a 2-year, window.
No, not too bad. I try to keep things going as much as I can. People don't want to wait 2 years. I haven't yet figured out, I've been doing this for a long time, haven't figured out how to give somebody a price for a house that's good 2 years from now. So, once you've got plans, generally speaking, you're ready to move. You want it now. Now, some people have plans for the future and so forth, and they'll wait. I can put them into my system and wait for them to be ready. That's fine, but I don't have a need to delay them a whole bunch. Roughly, I would say start from now to start groundbreaking, maybe in 90 days max.
So would that 8 month window, would that be the same for a frame house, a rammed earth house, and an
A
adobe?
rammed earth house is generally going to add about 30 days to construction. When we build rammed earth, we do that mostly with our own crew, with my own labor, my direct employees. And so we do have other jobs, and I have to generally pull them off to do some work at the other jobs because we kind of can do our quality control in certain areas of construction, window installations, door installations, the finish of a house, all the trim, all the details of a home, we do ourselves. So we don't sub that part of it out. And so I generally keep a small crew of highly paid guys rather than a large crew of low paid guys. So my crew is really skilled people. And so when we build rammed earth, I'm generally going to add about 30 days to construction time.
And do you do any adobe homes, traditional adobe homes any longer?
We will do them when people want us to do adobe homes. Quite frankly, if they're not heart set on the adobe as the construction technique, we'll probably convince them to do rammed earth rather than adobe. Just from a maintenance perspective, rammed earth is easier to maintain.
And are there people in the Doña Ana area, that companies that actually build adobes for builders nowadays?
I have two builder friends that I think are still building, that are building adobe homes.
And so there are companies that will, like, I know in the old days here up in Santa Fe, you'd make your own adobes, let them sun dry, and you build your house and you'd add on as your family grew. But are there companies, I think there's one up in Taos maybe, that it's a company that all they do is make mud bricks for people.
Yeah, no. One of the adobe builders here in town makes mud bricks every summer. And when he's making bricks, if I need bricks, I put in an order and he'll make me bricks and so forth. Yeah, it's really become, that's the problem with adobe in southern New Mexico, becoming a really lost art. Nobody making the effort to make the adobes. And if I have to buy them up in Santa Fe or Taos and ship them to Las Cruces, number one, many of them are going to be broken from the trip. Number two, that's not exactly a green way to build when I can build an earth home and source the material right here in Las Cruces. And I have to burn all that fuel to ship it from Taos to Las Cruces.
Right. So in terms of a cost, like what's a guesstimate of a frame home versus a rammed earth home in that 22 to 2,500 heated space for a home?
Very, very difficult for me to just nail down a number because every home is different and I'm a custom builder.
It's going to have its different bells and whistles, but isn't there's like a guesstimate? Is it
Yeah, so what I
400,000?
can generally say is that a rammed earth home is maybe 10% more than a conventionally built home. And because in that 10%, what makes up that 10% of cost, for example, would be, say, as a good example, windows. We use really high quality windows in our rammed earth homes, and in our conventionally built homes, we're able to use vinyl windows, much less substantial windows. But earth is such a heavy product, and if it moves at all, it'd crush a vinyl window, you'd crack the glass, the frame would shift and move. So we use heavy duty windows like Pella or Marvin windows, and that really jumps the price up. I mean, just as a great example, take the same house that we would build a wood frame and that somebody would typically be happy and want a vinyl energy efficient window with. That window package might cost $4,000 for an average 2,000-foot home. But if we change that to a wood metal clad Pella or Marvin window, that same window package probably bump up to about $20,000 or $22,000. Still filling the exact same holes with windows that do the exact same thing, but they're a more energy efficient window. They're wood windows. They're going to be finished and look much nicer. So there are factors that we have to do in rammed earth that we don't have to do on conventionally built homes.
So are we looking at least
the conventionally built
$500,000 cost, do you think?
Yeah, or less. Yeah, on a 2,000 square foot house, I would say in the 400s to 500 range.
That's good. Well, we're getting close to the end here of our interview. Is there anything else? This is really interesting. And it's going to help educate people. I didn't know that such a thing as rammed earth homes existed. So now I do. And is there anything else you want to add to this, that people that might be listening, or they're thinking of moving to New Mexico and maybe they hadn't considered, well, for sure they hadn't considered rammed earth probably, but maybe, any pros versus cons from rammed earth to adobe, or?
Well, rammed earth and adobe, pros and cons. The adobes are heavy. The construction technique is very heavy. Build an earth house for you. Earth house probably weighs 90, 100,000 pounds when it's all finished on a slab, 2,000 square foot house. Same thing out of rammed earth would have 200 tons just in the walls. Not the stucco, not the roof, not the interior walls, not the tile, not the appliances. So there's a very substantial home in rammed earth or adobe. Now, adobe, the pro and the con from adobe and rammed earth is the weight of the earth.
Plus, you might not
earth.
be able to find a good quality adobe these days. That's what you were saying earlier, that it's a lost art form. So you may not be able to find good quality adobe bricks, right?
Well, they're all handmade, generally speaking, and so there's going to be a great deal of variation between one set of bricks and the next set of bricks. How much sunlight they had, how much bake time, how the mixture was made. Now, that variable exists in our business as well, but we are building much larger product at the time. We do 40 feet of walls a day. So our mix is pretty consistent.
Oh, good. Well, it sounds like rammed earth homes are the way to go if you're looking for a green type of home.
We think they are.
Well, listen, I want to thank you. I know we've had some internet struggles the last few days. Thank you for your patience on this. And again, Judd Singer and Rammed Earth Homes, and it's Via Construction Company, Via Concept.
Custom Homes.
Yes.
Via
Well,
Custom
listen,
Homes.
thank you again, and we'll stay in touch.